It's Week 5 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Strap in, this will be a good one. Two one-loss teams getting together as they're underway on EA Sports. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. They'll be led out by a man who's becoming an elder statesman among quarterbacks in the league, drafted back in 2004. It's Ben Roethlisberger.
And I think it's safe to say that, and I heard him say it in the post-game press conference, that was a team win last week because he didn't really play up to his normal standards, throwing 2 interceptions.
No touchdown.
Yeah, didn't offset it at all, but the team found a way to get it done.
First carry for Raheem Mostert. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. The numbers for him from a week ago. Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week.
And they'll run for the first time with Najee Harris. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Well, this defense for the Buccaneers, they played extremely well last week in the win over it. Atlanta.
This defense certainly has a lot to be proud of coming off of last week's game, because when you only give up 14 points in a contest, you give your team a great chance to win. The best defense in the league is usually going to average giving up 18, 19 points a game. So to be under that, a terrific achievement.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. 20. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. 76 yards. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it. Get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Taking it about the 1. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Always fun to get a peek at Tom Brady as he gets in place to command this offense for Tampa Bay.
And he's been playing at an elite level here in this early half of the season. Tops in the league in touchdown passes at this point. This is definitely a wide open offense, so we'll see if he can keep his string of good games going right here.
Brady going to bring the Bucs up with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. Here's Brady to throw. He sets up the screen to Jones. And they'll get him down here at the 23. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up a touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
And out across midfield down to the 45. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Brady now on 1st down. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr. And the Steelers are going to take over at their own 41. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it's a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Through the flag usually always indicates holding, and that's what we got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3-and-out and giving the ball back to their offense?
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their 2nd drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
The throw on second down by Brady is incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now Brady. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Thomas. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. This will be fielded at the 17. A good return there, 17 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Steelers to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Jamel Dean. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Well, look, we're watching a quarterback here that's obviously been around for a long time. That's a throw he wishes he had back.
He certainly does, but as you well know, this is a guy that's used to taking a few chances, used to fitting it into tight windows. These are throws that he's made before. Didn't happen to get.
Touchdown, Tampa Bay! Scotty Miller, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bucs are just an extra point away from grabbing the lead now. The extra point splits the uprights, and they take the lead here at 7-6. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. 1-play drive and into the end zone for 6. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action.
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On the handoff, this is Mostert. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down for a nice little gain. They go play action with Roethlisberger. This is Chase Claypool on the receiving end. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Now big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
This is Mostert. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
On 2nd down, it's Harris. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. Roethlisberger will throw. He's going to let this go for the end zone. That went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
I like what they did there because many of the deep throws we see in the course of a game come to the outside, the perimeter of the field. In this case, they used the slot receiver to run deep downfield and tried to connect that way. Unsuccessful in that attempt, but I like what they were doing.
Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. So what did they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how did they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so. Brady gives this one off to Jones. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
It's caught by Mike Evans. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
When Mike Evans sees man coverage, I don't think he's the only guy who gets excited. I'll guarantee the guy throwing the ball does, because guess what? He's got a lot of options about where to place it because of Mike Evans' size and frame.
Throwing on first down is Brady. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit. Even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down. Brady to throw again. Oh, he can't get away, and Brady will go down. T.J. Watt in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Taking it about the 36. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. 2nd and 5. On the give, this is Harris. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now a first down carry for Harris. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
From the 39, Roethlisberger. Throw left side, taken in by Claypool. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
They always say that real estate is about location. Well, guess what? When it's a slant route, the quick ones, timing, timing, timing. Got to be able to lead your man with the football.
And the timing off right there. Threw it behind him. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Roethlisberger. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Again, it's Roethlisberger. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And the Buccaneers are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
Well, this is simply a great read by a defensive back. It's 3rd and 10, so he sits right on where the yard-to-gain marker is, knows it's going to be a route around that distance, makes his read, breaks on the football, and makes a terrific play.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Jones running on 1st down, but finding it pretty tough going as he'll get forward for only about 3 there before he's taken down. This a 2nd and 7 from the 37. Brady going to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Evans.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
The Bucs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 46 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
I like the look that they just showed there. When you come out in a passing formation, spread things out a little bit, makes it really hard to cover the middle of the field, doesn't it? Because you got to go out to the perimeter and cover those guys.
Yep, exactly. Got some good blocking, too. Helped him pick up the first. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Brady. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Brady, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But it looks like a Buccaneer was able to corral it. Yes, the Bucs have it. Tampa Bay keeps the possession.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Under pressure, they got him again. T.J. Watt, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Taking it about the 16. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And I'm not going to say you completely abandon the passing game, but it would really behoove them to get this running game going more.
That's the identity most teams are seeking. Able to establish themselves, control the game by running it, have to touch it multiple times in order to have success in this game.
As we say, yeah, that's right. As we say all the time, that sets up the passing game. I feel like a broken record with that.
Listen, we can be broken records all we want. Bottom line is, lather up that big horse and let him run.
Five yards remain on 2nd down. Here's Harris. And he's got some space here. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Right back to Claypool, this time complete. And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
His 2nd catch, and this one not nearly as electrifying as his first. And it'll bring up 3rd down now. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And this pass broken up. Well, the contact well timed there, and now 4th down. And Boswell's kick is good. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So chalk on that as an 8-play drive, capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they've been moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The spotlight now focuses on the quarterback, and that's Tom Brady. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together and maybe get into field goal range. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Brady now on 1st down. Oh, he can't get away, and Brady will go down. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the 1st down sack. Brady. Evans has it left side. And Pittsburgh with 6 defensive backs in the game here on 3rd down. Brady. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. And Oliver able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number one. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. This is taken at the 15. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And with a 2-point lead in hand, they may not do anything too aggressive here. And Mostert with a first down carry. Nice carry. Gets his way forward for a pickup of about 6 yards.
Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Roethlisberger. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. Final play of the half, it's Roethlisberger. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. So we reach halftime here in the Steel City with the Steelers on top as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll get started over at the Superdome in New Orleans. And that one at the half with the scoreline of 21-10. Baker Mayfield with a couple of touchdown passes. From there, let's head to AT&T Stadium as we check out the Cowboys at home in Dallas. And they trail the visiting Lions in that one. Miles Boykin, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's head to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. See what's happening with the Bengals. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Joe Burrow, terrific in the victory, as his guys up their mark to 4-1 now. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. 3. This still anyone's contest. A 2-point game as we get back underway on EA Sports. Taken in at the 3. And he returns this to the 22. And here we go again with Tom Brady and Tampa's offense.
What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel like it always comes back to leverage, don't you?
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they're on the short end of the scoreboard here. Charles, what adjustments, if any, do you think they need to make for the second half?
Well, paraphrasing the gold medal hockey winning coach Herb Brooks, I just say you continue to play your game. Throw the ball. They had success doing it in the first half, so make sure you keep getting the ball to your playmakers, a little bit more to the perimeter perhaps, but above all, play your game.
Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down. But the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Open man is Miller. He's got it. And finally, he goes out of bounds right at the 35-yard line. A huge gain of 40 yards on the third down conversion.
We know play callers can be very creative in this game today, but sometimes when they've got receivers with speed like this, they don't need to design incredibly complex calls. Sometimes it's just get the ball in his hands and let him do his thing. In a sense, less can become more, and it was right there.
Cameron Hayward in on the tackle.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
68 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
That throw by Brady incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And the Bucs are going to have a first and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Now Jones. That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
They all understand that even after that loss on first down, they've got a field goal attempt in their back pocket. But here on second and goal, this is the time you take your shot at the end zone, I believe. Go ahead and go for the big shot right now, knowing you can always come back and kick a field goal on fourth down if you can't advance.
And Brady's throw there, incomplete.
Down near the goal line, things really get physical. You're always anticipating a running play, but when they do throw it, things happen quickly. A little bit of a bang-bang play there that falls incomplete.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on third and goal? Here's Brady. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Unsuccessful pass on third down, but at least you got 3 points here in your hip pocket.
Yeah, and I would take it from my hip pocket and put it right on the shoe of my kicker and go get those 3 points. This isn't even a discussion to me. This is a chance to take the lead after a good drive. Do it.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And they take the lead here by a point, 10-9.
Well, they don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the third quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they find themselves down on the scoreboard following the field goal a moment ago.
And I think even though they trail in the game now, I would consider that a win for their defense, and that's probably what they're telling the offense when they get to the bench. Hey, the onus is on you guys now. Get back out there and get us the lead back.
Second down, here's Mostert again. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
In my humble estimation, terrific work there defensively. Running backs trying to get wide, get to the sideline, and they beat him to the spot, forced him out of bounds, pretty close to the line of scrimmage.
Here we go. Like 30. Here we go again. Jack 16.
Now Roethlisberger. He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Here's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. Yards on the punt, 2 on the return, and the Bucs are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. To throw is Brady. And he fires one that's intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And this drive will start on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
Give him 4 on the carry there and 2nd and goal.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Again, it's Harris. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
They'll try to run with Harris. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Najee Harris with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Steelers are going to retake the lead. So the 2nd down run didn't work. They run it again on 3rd down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play. Our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
So they go with a pass there on the 2-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their 2-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have 2-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
Back now comes Tampa Bay. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And this is caught by Evans. 7 yards, the pickup there. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just 1 big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them.
And Brady going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Julian Blackmon. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. 2nd straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one, or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Roethlisberger. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the 1st. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. Boswell's kick is good. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting 3.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that can all change because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Again, we see Tom Brady and the Bucs set to take over.
And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action.
This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
On 1st and 10, here's Brady. Caught on the right side by Jones. That catch good for only a couple.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
2nd down and 8.
Shotgun now for Brady. Completes it to Miller. And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
That is caught. It's Chris Godwin. And oh, he coughed it up. And it's picked up by the Steelers.
These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case wide receiver, you got to be careful.
You certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time, completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake in the ball and knock it free.
And he'll go out of bounds just shy of the 20.
66 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Now Roethlisberger on 1st down. They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now Roethlisberger to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards, the final tally.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself, because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit, because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, They're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
On third down, here's Harris. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line. And that is not near enough. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
And his kick is good. Just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So while maybe not a knockout blow there, I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the fourth.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And he can't field it cleanly. It's loose. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because it didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Brady. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Now Brady. Throw left side, taken in by Miller. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. Throwing now is Brady.
Finding Miller once more, complete.
And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Brady's throw taken in by Evans here.
And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 36. Give them 12 yards on that one. It earns them a fresh set of downs. On 1st down, Brady.
This one swung out here to Jones.
That catch good for only a couple.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Brady. This is caught by Evans. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 23 yards the pickup there.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Again, they'll throw with Brady. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. The 40. Past the 20. 10, 5, and he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. And on that one, with 6 defensive backs, did he need to be more careful throwing the football? I mean, I guess obviously in hindsight he did, but...
Yeah, hindsight, but even in foresight, when you got 6 defensive backs on the field, you just know you're going to get multiple coverages. You're never sure what you're going to see. But the biggest one is you don't have much reaction time for your receivers to go get the football because those guys, they're the best cover guys on the field. They go get it. And on that play, they took it the other way for 6 points.
Boswell good with the extra point. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded inside the 5. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big fourth quarter hole. Brady and the Buccaneers here, 1st and 10 at their own 23. Now Brady to try again after the pick six. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Well, that play really didn't fool him. They completed the screen pass, but for lost yardage, a really nice play by the defense.
To throw again on 2nd down. Brady. He'll drop this underneath for Jones. And he'll get 2 or 3 out of that one as that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Brady now to throw. This is going to be incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
They'll run on 1st down. Harris. Heck of a broken tackle, but only able to work this down near the 23. It was Jason Pierre-Paul who was able to get him down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And a short gain here down to the 22. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. They hand this off to Harris, and he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down. They run for it with Harris, and he'll have the 1st down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Roethlisberger going to throw it. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Steelers are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the fourth quarter.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill, but remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes. And that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
And that is off the left upright. It's no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for the Steelers, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for the Buccaneers, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Carolina Panthers. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.